Hey everybody, Ashby here. I just wanted to go over assignment 1, the coffee coupon assignment with you. First off, thanks everybody for getting your work in on time and putting an honest effort in. I was pleased with everyone's assignments. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of the troubles you guys might have had and then also some solutions that I came up with. Okay, so let's move on to my first solution. And this first solution is building all the HTML and trying to minimize the use of background images as much as possible. So for this assignment, I just hacked up together really quick in Photoshop this background image of just, our delicious sweating glasses of iced coffee. And then I created all these containers here in HTML and CSS using border radius and background color. So, we can look at the code a little bit and compare it, but for right now, I'm just going to move past that, and this will all be pushed to GitHub later, and you can review it and play with it on your own. So let's look at our first option. We have our background color, we have our border radius, and in Chrome, it looks amazing, right? And I'm just going to skip Firefox for now. I'm just going to mainly go into the differences between Chrome and IE8 for this demo. So this looks great right now. One of the requirements was to look at it in IE8. So let's go to IE8 in my VirtualBox, and let's just refresh it real quick. So this is what it ends up looking like, right? Close that out. We can see my computer's not too big. Let me shrink this up a little bit. Okay, we can see a couple things, right? We notice that our border radiuses are gone. Our box shadow is also gone, but that wasn't part of a requirement anyways, so it's not too big of a deal. But you'll notice border radius and box shadow is just breaking. So that's really frustrating, right? And what are the solutions for, your border radius? Not really many. I mean, I guess there's some JavaScript plugins that you could put in. That's really not a great solution for like just a quick coffee coupon like this. Maybe if you had multiple web pages using multiple border radiuses, that would be a good solution, right? So my attitude kind of is like, I would go up to the designer and I would like shake my fist at him, right? I'd be like, why are you using squares with curvy corners? Because designer, you've been doing this for 5 years. You know that it's really a pain for me as a developer to try to get that to look great in IE8. So sometimes I might just deliver a project like this. I'm going to be like, well, you don't get box shadow or border radius in IE8. Sorry. That works for some clients. For some other clients, it doesn't work at all. The best solution, just having designers not use curvy corners right now because IE8's relevant and it's required all the time. So designers don't make curvy corners or beveled corners or whatever the technical term for it is. So what is going to be the second solution to get this looking good in IE8, or at least, getting it to look as close to this coupon as possible? Let's go back to our HTML and let's look at the second solution, which a lot of you were able to succeed with, which is just using the full image as the background and putting the text on top of it. Okay, so let's look at this in Chrome. Pretty similar, right? Just making sure it's actually updating. So for some reason, my code wants to give me... Oh, it's because I'm not in my localhost. I'm sorry. So let's go to my localhost real quick. Let's go to htdocs. No, let's just open up assignment 1. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we have our background image in our DOM, right? See, we have coffee coupon, no text. You can see the full image opens up there. And that looks pretty similar, right? Let's look at this really quick. And let's look at this really quick in IE. So let's refresh. And you'll see, great, now we have our beveled edges, and it's just one big background image. You know, it reminds me of, developing for the skeuomorphic world like 5 years ago, these were the solutions. We just used images as backgrounds if we wanted beveled containers. Every single time right now that we have to do that, it feels a little icky and it feels like we're going backwards, right? But, sometimes the client just really is in love with their design and they only have an IE8 browser, so that's what we end up doing. And you know what? It does end up looking pretty nice with just the image. As long as the background image you're actually using is, a pretty nice quality image. I noticed some pixelation in some of your images. Not really too much of a big deal, but I mean, if you are using an entire image for the background like this and it's not a pattern, you're going to want to just optimize it because it's going to load really quick anyways, right? So here we have highlightable text, and this is all searchable. We have our image in our DOM. We have a little shadow. Let's just enable the best part of this assignment, right? The part you all love, which is our set timeout, right? It's a JavaScript class, so we have to have some JavaScript. Let's refresh, and it's going to take 5 seconds. Print now, and still in IE we also have 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000. Print now. Okay, great. That was just a tiny bit of JavaScript, right? And a lot of CSS and HTML. This assignment is kind of meant to be a refresher, and I think a lot of you kind of caught on to that. It's supposed to refresh your CSS and HTML skills. Some of you might not have coded for about 8 months, 6 months. Who knows? Some of you might have been building websites last month. Not sure. But just in case, we're going to get you involved in CSS and HTML in the first week, a little bit of JavaScript, and we're going to make you compare browsers, because browser testing, let's just face it, is really, really important. So I'm going to show you my third solution right now, which is just something I thought of because personally, well, let's be honest here. This is kind of a ridiculous assignment, right? And if I was handed this on the job, I would be well, for one, I'd be why do I have to do this, right? It's really simple. We should have one of the other Java developers do this, because I should be working on the really complicated JavaScript stuff, right? And then I would be what the heck is the designer doing? He's using curvy edges. That just makes me really mad. And then I would be what's up with this requirement? We have a print alert, but we don't have, when you click OK, we're not supposed to actually open up the print window so someone could print it. So I came up with a solution in order to get back at the man. And that's just to comment this out. And this is the easiest 5-minute way to do this assignment. So you strip out all of your classes, and you put a display none on a div that wraps all of your content, right? And then you just have the full image. So you just show the image, but then you have all of this text for screen readers and for the little Google search bots to climb through and enter into their database and use for their search index computing. So let's see what that looks like. Right. So this is the most faithful representation of our assignment. You know, I'm just loading the image. And if we look at this, we're loading our full image there, and we have a display none, right, with all of our copy. So we could actually, like, we should be able to just delete this and nothing would change, right? There we go. We just deleted all the content because it's hidden, and the only purpose is the functionality. And I would come to this, I would use this solution maybe just because I would I'd be getting back at my project manager for not assigning this to the newer JavaScript developer or the intern for actually insulting me for having to do this. I would do this, I would implement this solution to get back at the designer, because he used those beveled edges. And then I would, I'd be done with this in 5 minutes, and I'd deploy it, and then I'd go on Reddit for like 3 hours. So, just a little, that's just another way to think about it. Of course, I probably would never do that because I like having a job, and I like, having a house and car for my kids and wife. But yeah, there's lots of solutions out there. Those are 3. If you have any more questions about your assignment in particular, then just email me and I'll look at your specific assignment, and then I'll email you a couple paragraphs. And if you have questions about my grading process, you can email me about that as well. It's pretty transparent, and I can explain it if you would like. Other than that, yeah. Oh, I wanted to show you one other thing. So, because I noticed this a little bit. We have this all working in IE, right? Works great, looks good. I'm actually going to comment out my, my smug anti-establishment method, and I'm going to comment back in, not this one. Let's just comment in the one that I have to admit is probably the best solution for this particular assignment, right? So let's refresh this. And okay, so we see all this. Print now. What is going to happen if we do not have this modernizer in loading on our page? Wow. You see that? That like breaks everything. And it does that for a couple of reasons. And some of you caught this. IE8 actually does not support HTML5. It does not support main. It does not support header. It does not support aside, etc. I mean, that's why you always have to add a class main or a class header and target those with your CSS, because if you just try to do header and write your styles here, that will end up breaking in IE8. So you need if you're going to use HTML5, you need Modernizer, right? I mean, okay, let's keep that commented out. Let's comment that out, and let's comment in the other solution where I don't have the large background image, and refresh. And look how much worse that looks when we just have this smaller image in there. It looks terrible, right? So what Modernizer actually does is this JavaScript will go through the DOM, and it will find every single case of main, header, header, aside, aside. It will grab all those and anything like figure, fig caption, footer, etc. And it just will end up making it work. How, you ask? JavaScript magic. Actually, I'm not really sure. That's something to Google, when I'm on vacation. I'll Google Modernizer and find out exactly how that works. So yeah, have a great day and a great Labor Day, and looking forward to week 3. Thanks so much.